to see if you qualify. Again, 800-398-9411.
This is Scott Kaplan and Crew Tonight. The very best from today's Scott Kaplan and Crew show on the mightier 1090 AM ESPN Radio. SoCal Sports Talk. Here's Scott Kaplan, Alex Padilla, and John Browner.
All right, great friends. What is going on? It is Wednesday. It is May 18th. This is Kaplan and Crew along with Grande and the Brown Man. Although Brown Man out today, comedian / radio host / basketball referee, our man J Law in the house filling in for Browner. J Law, we're glad you're here, man.
Yeah, it's always fun hanging out with you guys. Like I said, take more time off, Alex. I love doing these shows, man. Hanging out and talking. I'm all for it. So, anytime, call me. I'm sure this won't be the last time Browner needs a personal day, as us all. But I'm here, man. I'm here.
And I like the way that Scott started the show. I think that it was a pretty presumptuous way to start the show by you, Scott, saying that there won't be any hot takes. There won't be any craziness. Like, we don't know.
Right.
We don't know what Jason's got inside him.
We don't know. But here's what we do know. We will not hear today Browner tell us that Musgrove is just average and he doesn't have good stuff and that he's not worth the money, et cetera, et cetera. We won't hear Browner call Ohtani phony. We won't hear Browner tell us that the Chargers are going to win the Super Bowl. We won't hear Browner tell us today that Justin Fields is going to be the best quarterback in the NFL. I mean, all the Brown facts.
Jason, do you think the Chargers are going to win the Super Bowl?
No.
Jason, do you think that Shohei Ohtani is an phony?
I think he's actually underrated.
Do you think that Mike Trout is the only baseball player in baseball currently taking steroids?
No, but I think, no, because I think guys are taking steroids, and I don't think or know if he is or not, but I think guys are. So if he's in that, then yes, and if he's not, then it wouldn't surprise me either way. I don't know. I don't think he's.
I mean, these are all Brown facts, though.
He's got some great ones, doesn't he?
Have you? Do you even know this? I don't know if you guys ever talk about this on Browner and Lawhead. Do you know that Brown Facts has taken on such a life of its own, Jay? Yeah. That it has now its own merchandise. Do you know this?
Oh yeah, I see it all the time. I mean, you kidding me? Yeah, I mean, he's got. I'm riding his coattails at 6:00. I mean, this guy, he's bringing in the force from Kaplan and Crew. This guy's the guy. He's got a merchandise line,
dude. Listen. The Brown Facts have become so ridiculously over the top popular. Some people absolutely love them. Some people hate them. But everybody's got an opinion about a Brown fact. So we've created our own line of merch. If you go onto our website, kaplanandcrew.com, Alex can pull this up for you. If you go onto our website, there's a picture of a hoodie, and then there's a button that says shop, and then
you can hit the hoodie now too.
Oh, really? Yeah. So all you do is you go on here and take a look at this.
Yeah.
Take a look at you got Brown Facts hoodies, you got Brown Facts t-shirts. And people seem to be buying up the Brown Facts stickers. Forget about all the Kaplan and Crew coffee mugs and water bottles and, female cut t-shirts and all the cool stuff that you can get from the show. The Brown Facts stuff has become like our most popular selling stuff.
Yeah. You know why the stickers probably popular the most is because stickers, hashtag words look good on like a sticker. Right. That sometimes people look at it and they go, there's a word that's got the hashtag. It looks good on a sticker as opposed sometimes. So people that gets your eyes right away.
Yeah.
The Brown. I mean, come on, the guys, I love it. I mean, when you look at some of that stuff, you just see some of the takes he's had and you're just like, and that's what I'm going to miss. I think you guys have even touched on it before. When we talked about John Clayton's passing, I'm going to miss like John Clayton the most for the times he would just say, you have no clue. What are you talking about?
Right.
You don't know anything that you're saying right now.
You know nothing about quarterbacking in the NFL, Browner. Like, just deal with that. So I know we will miss John Clayton around here too, but we do have Jason Lawhead in. Grande's in.
Brown Facts are like accidental fake news. That's what it is. It's like fake news on accident. It's like tripped over fake news is what a Brown Facts is. Anyway, go ahead.
It's funny. You just caught me. You mentioned that. I was watching this morning. There was some video that was on Instagram of your stand-up routine most recently, and you were talking about the difference between being a vegan and being plant-based.
Yeah.
And you were like, and I just love the line, vegan, it just sounds so vaginal.
Yeah, plant based is bold, plant based, P and the B.
Right.
I won't say that on the air. I don't know if I'm allowed to, but
It's proper
go
anatomical
to Jason
terminology.
Lawhead Comedy on Instagram or Jason Lawhead 7 at YouTube and check it out.
Yeah, no, I loved it. I saw it this morning. All right, so listen, let's just jump right in. Grande, why don't you update everybody if you could? Because
Yeah.
I know the Padres are going to be playing the Phillies again here this afternoon. But let's just do a quick review as to what happened yesterday. Because I'll tell you something. We've been talking about this for the last couple of days. We were going to see the pitching staff the way we expected to see the pitching staff. So yesterday we get a Clevenger. Today we're going to get a Snell. Then we're going to get a Darvish. And those three guys, that's what Padre fans were really hanging their hats on coming into this season. But we haven't seen Snell yet. And we're just starting to now get to see what Clevenger could potentially be. And I think you mentioned this about 2 weeks ago, Alex, when we started talking about how there's 5 starters, but there's really 7 guys who are all starters. And
Yeah.
your suggestion was, okay, one guy goes 5, the next guy comes in, and then this way you're keeping your starters working, but one's starting and one is coming in for some longer relief. That was a game plan that you suggested that worked out perfectly yesterday because Clevenger went
Yes.
the first 5, and then Mackenzie Gore came in and went the next 3. This was really smart by you, and it sounds like the Padres
Yeah.
used the formula.
I really turned myself into a great baseball mind. I really have excelled to that level now. They just took it to a different level because I was suggesting a Clevenger Snell piggyback because I don't think either of those guys go very long. But historically, Clevenger's a starter, Snell's a starter. So let's keep those guys as starters. Mackenzie Gore is a rookie. He's gonna, figure stuff out still. Nick Martinez doesn't have a Major League Baseball track record of being a starter, so let's put him in the bullpen as well. And they're going back-to-back piggyback. Back-to-back piggyback.
Right.
They're going Clevenger Gore yesterday to Rogers, which was perfect. 3rd shutout of the season. And today, the plan, in theory, will be Snell, Martinez, and then see what happens.
Yeah. No, it's a really smart concept, and it worked out perfectly yesterday. And the Padres won. I say the Padres won. Your team got smoked. Yeah. I say the Padres won.
Have you seen that, Jayson?
Jay, have you
Oh
seen this?
yeah.
The
Oh,
Padres
yeah.
won. Oh yeah, the Padres won. If you sing this rhyme, your team got smoked. Yeah. That's right, the Padres won. Oh yeah, the Padres won.
Oh my God!
Yeah,
I can't believe I live in this society.
Island
I
Bay.
I can't believe this is the society I live
an
in.
Island Bay. Island Bay. I
This
say
is-
the
this
Island
is
Bay.
just- I can't.
Dude, the face tattoos just kill me. I mean, listen, I'm going to say something right now. It's very judgmental sounding. And for anybody out there that has face tattoos, you're not going to like it, but it's just the way it is, man. Face tattoos freak me out.
I do a joke about I'm in my act about how if I were to be a father ever, I would love my kid no matter what, no matter if it had a disability, if it was special, if it was gay or whatever it was, I would love it 100%. But normal or not, any of them come home with any face tattoos, I will disown them, no matter how many Grammy awards they win. I don't care. No Post Malone is coming to my home.
Yeah.
Okay, so it's
I
like
think because I'm a
No,
I'm a Gen Zer, so I've gotten used to face tattoos. I think Mike Tyson shocked the world when he got one, and after
Right.
that, it's just
he's
become
Mike Tyson.
normal.
He's
Right.
Mike Tyson.
But
Like
what
he's
bothers
a
me the
fierce
most about
competitor.
them-
Like he's got one like around his eye or something. Like
Don't
you know,
excuse the terrible tribal tattoo on Mike Tyson's face.
whatever, but he's still Mike Tyson. He's not. This is an island boy. This guy looks like. I mean, he's so. This kid looks like a beam on the Brooklyn Bridge that's just been graffitied over. Like that's all that. This kid, he does. That's what these guys look like. That's what I said. These guys look like Matt Damon solved an equation on their face. It looks ridiculous.
Yeah, no, the face
I'm
tattoos
just super
are just
bummed
gross,
out
man.
that this is what they used to look like, right? With the dreads
Yeah.
that were just took everything to just a
Yeah.
stupid level.
Island
Like,
Bays.
Right there,
Right.
they just
but
look
then they
like
cut their hair.
Right there, they just look like a couple of Simpsons characters. right?
So now they cut their hair, and now they don't. Now they just look bad.
Island
you know?
Bays with all this cash money. We got all the money.
I mean, we live in a ridiculous. It's ridiculous.
But dude, face tattoos. Listen, here's the thing. This started off about the Padres, and
Jason's so mad
I know
right
I'm
now.
going to get back.
What have you done to
I'm
him?
getting back to the Padres in 1 second. I am. But who's the guy? He's the rock star. I want to say he's like the drummer for Blink 182. I think.
Travis Barker.
Yes, that guy. Like, I get it. You're a rock star. I totally understand. You're a rock star. You want to get all tatted out. I get it. But the face tattoos, man, it's just like, I'll give you an example. This weekend, I was out for a walk and I walked by this park and there were these two guys working out. And one guy was boxing and the other guy was the trainer. So he had on like the big mitts, and he was telling them what to do. 1, 2 here, 1, 2 here, give me a right, give me a left. But the trainer had face tattoos like all over the place, all over his forehead, under his eyes, down his cheeks. And I was like, you know what? I wouldn't train boxing with this guy. I wouldn't do it. He's probably a bad mofo. I get it. But I just got this weird thing about face tattoos. I don't get face tattoos.
I don't get them, man. Some guys got them. You ever seen like dudes that are like bald headed, and they're like over the top of the head. They go from over the top of the head, around the head, down the back.
Yeah.
You're just like, hey, I mean, to each their own at the end of the day, but like, look, I mean, I can't take you seriously in a like I can't even look. Like I had to take my glasses off and look away and be like, is this guy? Are we gonna have a conversation with this guy? You seriously? We're gonna sit across the table for dinner with this?
Right. I can't hear a word you're
So
saying.
you guys
I'm
are
just
saying-
reading your face tattoos, or I'm just looking at the art on your face.
Yeah.
Whatever you guys so like at the end of the day, it really doesn't matter what your face tattoo looks like because it's on your face, right? Like it doesn't matter. You could have the tattoo version of the Mona Lisa on your face, but it's still a face tattoo. So at the end of the day, it looks ridiculous.
I think so. I mean, listen, I like
because there are I have yet to see a good face tattoo myself.
Yeah.
Like, Post Malone has barbed wire on his forehead.
Yeah, he's
cool,
got, like,
bro.
autograph.
And I like Post
I
Malone.
like Post
I
Malone too.
I like Post Malone a lot, but a barbed wire across the forehead.
Yeah.
But yeah,
I don't get it.
mean, you want to? I say you want to sit at my dinner table. Go wash your hands and face with some turpentine. Because...
Hey, listen, I'll tell you right now. I look at certain things that people do to their bodies, and I like certain things. Like I like when women have little hoop nose rings. I think that's sexy. I think when like a little teeny tiny subtle diamond in the side of their nose, I find that to be super sexy. I love a belly button ring. Okay, on a woman.
Bill?
Okay, I love these kinds of things. But
that's still a thing.
Belly button rings? I don't know if it is or it
Sure.
isn't, but I mean, I like them.
I can't
It
remember.
all-
last time
I
saw
think
one.
that'll always be a thing.
I like them. But you like you ever see a dude who has like one of those earrings that's like real big, expansive earring, and then years later decides to take it out and they've got a size
gauges?
of like a quarter, a hole in their ear, and their earlobe is like so stretched out it's touching their shoulder blade. Like to me, I don't like that.
Yeah.
I just listen. Everybody do their own thing. Much love to everybody. I'm just sharing with you an opinion that face tattoos and those crazy big earrings, not into them.
I've also made the argument on this show already that we are living in a generation where that stuff is happening for the first time. We haven't got to the point where there's like 65-year-old dudes out there with face tattoos and large gauge earrings. I think when people start realizing what you will look like, that might deter some people. Because right now it looks cool. You're young, you got fresh skin, you got the whole life ahead of you. But later on, there's consequences to some of these actions.
Right.
I think
Right.
Like you remember Lizard Man from the Guinness World Record show, the dude that made himself look like a lizard. Like he tattooed his body, his face green. He split his tongue in half. He added horns to his head.
Yes.
That's what people are looking like normally now.
Yeah.
Inspired by Lizard Man.
That's your public defender now, right? Now. That's the guy taking your case.
Yeah. Well, anyway, we were talking about the Padres, and I want to get back to them in 1 second.
Yeah.
Because, Jay, I figure that as an Indians fan or now a Guardians fan.
Whoa.
Yeah. Hey, sorry, man. Sorry. Politically correct. As a Cleveland Guardians fan, you've probably seen Mike Clevenger pitch in the Cleveland iteration, whereas many of us are just now starting to focus in on who Mike Clevenger is as a Padres pitcher because, he came here, he pitched a few games, and then, he was hurt, and then he missed an entire season due to Tommy John. I want to talk about Clevenger here in 1 second, but before I do, I just want to remind everybody, everybody watching on television, everybody watching on YouTube, everybody listening on radio and audio podcast. This Saturday at noon, I'm hosting an IV lounge down at iThrive MD in Mission Valley. So here's the phone number. It's 858-240-1497, 858-240-1497. You're saving 40%. They're doing a 40% discount. Now, here's what happens. You come in, you sit down, you tell them what you want in your bag of vitamins. They'll put it all together. They'll build the cocktail. And then 30 minutes, you sit there, you hang out. They put an IV in your arm. You're getting maximum hydration. You're getting all these vitamins and nutrients. It might be something that you might be thinking to yourself, dude, an IV? I'm never going to go for an IV and take a bunch of vitamins. I'm just here to tell you, you want to feel really good. You want to feel like you could run through this brick wall right behind me head first. You want to have all this energy and make your body just really, really come to life. I'm telling you, these IVs are amazing. I'm with you guys. I'd never done this before in my life either, except one time for a really bad hangover in Vegas. And that was only because somebody won big at the tables the night before and they were paying for it. But now, I mean, getting an IV bag filled with vitamins and nutrition and hydration is a pretty common thing now. And to do it, saving 40% while you're sitting around hanging out with your friends and drinking a mimosa, I'll see everybody down there on Saturday afternoon at noon. And I'm just telling you, I'm there from noon to 1 because I got to haul ass back up to Solana Beach because this weekend is Fiesta del Sol. It's like one of my favorite local events. And it's finally back after a couple of years of being off. So I'm coming in for the IV. I'm drinking a mimosa. And then I'm hauling ass back up to Solana Beach because I want to go see what's going on. Actually, I have a friend who's opening up the show. Her band's called April and the Funk Junkies. Shout out to my friend April Mosebrook. And so her band is leading off on Saturday afternoon at 2 o'clock, and I will be there for that. So I Thrive MD, Mission Valley, and call the number 858-240-1497, 858-240-1497. And you're going to save 40% on your IVs. And I hope to see everybody down there. I'm looking forward to hanging out with everybody. All right, back to the show. So Clevenger, you know, there's a lot of strange deliveries in Major League Baseball when it comes to pitchers. I think of Clayton Kershaw's delivery. I think of Kenley Jansen's delivery. But I'll tell you, who else? Oh, Craig Kimbrell, another good example. But I'm telling you, man, Mike Clevenger's delivery, I don't know what it is, but if I were a batter standing in that batter's box, I'd have a real hard time kind of catching up to all the little movements that he's making with his feet. And Alex, can you show everybody? Okay, here's Clevenger. This is
spring training.
All right, go ahead. Walk us through this.
This is this is the generic Mike Clevenger, right? This is in a game where I think he got a little carried away here with his Twinkle Toes Fred Flintstone stuff going on. Lots of steps, high leg kick. And then this is with him on base. Still does it a little bit.
Yeah, right. When he's coming out of the stretch, he doesn't do it quite as much. But if you go back to the beginning of it, Jay, look at this, man. I mean, I don't know if you ever noticed this when he was in Cleveland, but just watch it. Watch this. First, he digs in. Okay, then it's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. It's like 8 little baby steps before he's.
And then that leg kick after the pitch.
Right. So the leg kick afterwards looks like he's in a UFC fight and he's going to try and kick somebody in the face.
Yeah, no, I've noticed that. I think it's got a little bit more, even more exaggerated. I think since coming off the surgery than he was when he was an Indian, and I think it's a little bit more exaggerated. But yeah, he's always had that that kind of a setup, and I think still, if you were to like gauge the modern athlete, still to this day, I think the baseball player and the pitcher especially is kind of still maybe has more of those superstitions of the old player of the old school. You know, baseball, a lot of guys still dip, you know, like even with all the studies and all the things. And, you know, that was a tool back in the old days when they would play games every day before night games, and they would play in the wool and it would be 100-degree heat, and tobacco got instituted in the game as a pick-me-up. You jacked in a dip two times before you went up to bat after, you know, a long day, or when you went back out into the field. But guys still dip so much of these days. I think it's just a superstition. I think baseball still has a lot of these old school just DNA that's implemented into things, and when you get to that level and things have worked for you, you just maybe even take it a little further when you're trying to make a comeback and really try to get into a mindset of all the things that made me successful. And I think you see that a lot with a lot of like.
I mean, he just drives me nuts, though. Like, I mean, listen, I'm glad Clevenger performed.
Hey, it's not a face tattoo.
Yeah, he does. He does. It's not a face tattoo. But seriously, like, if you go back and you show the video one more time, Alex, for everybody that's watching on YouTube and TV, we'll describe it on radio. First, he digs in. Then he kind of has this like crouch down thing. But then he leans it back, and then it's just step after step after step. And by the way, it's not one foot; it's both feet. It's like, listen, it's like this crazy sort of nervous twitch before he throws the ball. If you're in the batter's box and you're trying to time this thing up, man, it's
a lot of guys throw the timing off, though. A lot of guys have, Johnny Cueto, I think the Giants is probably the number one culprit. He switches it up almost every pitch. He doesn't have any sort of style. It's just whatever feels right to him.
It's crazy.
Got his first win, though.
Yeah, not Cueto. Clevenger,
yes.
Right. All right, listen, stick around. We got a lot more we want to get to. The Padres are playing this afternoon in Philadelphia, so we got a bunch of other stuff we want to get to. While we have Jay Lawhead here today, we might as well jump into a little bit of NBA as well, which we'll get to. Stick around. We're just getting rolling. We're in the 7 Mile Casino Studios, along with Grande and Jay Law in for the Brown Man. This is Kaplan and Crew. Stick around, everybody.
We'll be right back with more of Scott Kaplan and Crew tonight. The very best from today's Scott Kaplan and Crew show on the mightier 1090 AM ESPN Radio. SoCal Sports Talk.
You're watching Kaplan and Crew tonight, powered by the mightier 1090 AM ESPN Radio and Your View, featuring the best sports talk in SoCal.
Dominating the SoCal radio airwaves for over 20 years. Join Scott Kaplan, Alex Padilla, and John Browner for Kaplan and Crew every Monday through Friday, 3 to 6 p.m. Only on the mightier 1090 ESPN Radio, SoCal Sports Talk, and the mightier1090.com.
And now we welcome to Main Street Living tax attorney Adam Brewer. Adam, thanks so much for making some time for us.
Oh yeah, not a problem. Happy to be here.
It's the time of year when taxes are on all of our minds, whether we like it or not. But Adam, you are a tax controversy attorney. So taxes are probably on your mind all of the time. What exactly is a tax controversy attorney?
Yeah, there's no escaping taxes for me. So tax controversy attorney, I'm not involved with like the yearly filing so much, quarterly filings that some businesses have to do. I step in when things between the taxpayer and the IRS or the taxpayer and the state get a little messy. So anytime things kind of get off track for a taxpayer, day to day is spent with my clients who they either owe a large amount of money to IRS or state, sometimes both, resolving audits. So audit activities really slowed down because of the pandemic, just because IRS or the state, they can't say, hey, come to our office with all your records on this date. But we do still do some audits. Again, the foreign income, sorry to hit on that again, but it's just a huge focus area. So especially where I'm at, I practice in California, primarily Hawaii. So we have a lot of taxpayers who, were maybe born or lived in other countries. So we see a lot of these foreign account disclosures. And then finally, just people who haven't filed their tax returns. I know it's kind of, an embarrassing topic for a lot of people, but it happens where you just miss a tax year. Then before you know it, it's April again. 1 year becomes 2 becomes 10 or 30 or, So I do a lot of that, which I call like a tax cleanup case, get people back on track, file their delinquent returns, handle any balance dues they have, and then really just get them back on the right track as far as taxes go.
Well, Adam, you found a way to make this conversation not very taxing, so that's very very successful on your end. How can viewers get in touch and get more tax help from you?
Yeah, definitely. If anyone needs help or looking for more information on taxes, they can visit my website, triumphovertax.com, or feel free to give me a call at the office, 619-591-9500.
Watch the Austin Gilronis take on your San Diego Legion Thursday, May 28th at 5 p.m. on YourView.
Welcome back. This is Scott Kaplan and Crew Tonight. The very best from today's Scott Kaplan and Crew show on the mightier 1090 AM ESPN Radio. SoCal Sports Talk. Here's Scott Kaplan, John Browner, and Alex Padilla.
Hey, great friends. What is happening? It is Wednesday afternoon. Today is May 18th. This is Kaplan and Crew with Grande and the Brown Man, and we come to you from the 7 Mile Casino Studios, 7milecasino.com. By the way, for those of you that are hearing about our first ever supper club, which is going to be on June 2nd down at 7 Mile Casino in partnership with Sammy's Restaurant and Bar. Well, Alex, would you like to show everybody who's watching on TV and watching on YouTube? For those of you that are on radio and on audio podcast, we'll read it to you. But you want to show everybody the menu that we have designed for the evening?
Yeah, would love to.
Okay, let's take a look at it here.
Just don't have it at the moment.
Oh, okay. I see curveball thrown your way.
Yeah, not ready for it. There you go.
All right, here we are. Let's take a look at this. Alex, you really designed this menu. Why don't you tell us
Kind of.
What do you mean, kind of?
I was a little handcuffed on what I could and could not pick, but
Well,
I don't think I would have gone too far away from this. So they do the Sammy's Classics, right? They do a salad, which I switched. They offered the chopped. We're doing balsamic grilled chicken. They offered New York style pizza and margarita pizza for the plant-based people. I don't know if you could eat any of this, Jason. Sorry.
I'm allowed to eat whatever I want, really, but you know.
But what?
Chicken.
But what?
No, I'm saying like if I wanted to go that night and just say I'm gonna eat whatever I want, I can. You know,
It's not like you're like only able to eat plant-based foods.
Well, I mean, I'm just saying, like, at the end of the day, like, if I decided right now I'm gonna eat this margarita pizza as this one meal, and I can make that decision if I'd like.
You are a free-willed American. That
What I'd like to know though, as what I would like to know, those mini duck tacos.
Yeah.
Are
Wow.
the tacos mini or are those babies ducks?
We're eating baby ducks.
What's going on there?
Right.
I want to know.
Right.
We
Alex,
will
the
be
mini
eating
duck
baby
tacos.
ducks.
The mini duck tacos, though. Why were you so adamant about the mini duck tacos?
Because they're bomb and it's different. And I know people probably look at that menu item and not necessarily something that people would normally order. But as someone that worked there for as long as I did, I can tell you they are divine.
Okay, now put the menu back up for one more second here, if you don't mind. The salt and pepper chicken wings, that's probably the only thing Browner's going to eat, so we got those. I added the sliders because every time Alex talks about the sliders and the Gorgonzola cheese, I don't know, man. You sold me on these sliders.
And you had them.
No, I've had them, and they're awesome.
Right.
They are bomb. Okay.
And so the New York style pizza would just be like a thin slice of cheese pizza, like you'd get in a New York.
No, so
pizzeria.
basically, listen. Sammy's is not a New York style. When they say style, it's not thinly sliced. It is more of a toppings than anything.
Yeah, it's like pepperoni.
It's the
and
meat.
New York is probably like sausage, pepperoni,
Exactly.
pepper,
and
onion
ham.
type
Yep.
thing.
Right.
Yeah,
So you got one like meaty pizza, and then you got one that's a margarita that's just just straight cheese and tomatoes and whatever.
Sure.
And then we got the pasta dish that, again, for me, I probably wouldn't order that right away, but it's one of the things that comes on the menu that we designed was a pasta dish. And Alex, why did you choose the what is it? The tequila? I don't have it committed to memory, and I don't have it up on the screen.
Chicken tequila fettuccine.
Yeah, chicken tequila fettuccine. Yeah.
That's because those three words to me just sound like they shouldn't belong together.
The reason I chose it is because it's delicious.
That's it. Very simply.
It is like
Simply
a
put.
spinach fettuccine pasta with grilled chicken. I'm trying to remember. I think I can remember the whole thing. Peppers, onions, in some ridiculous tequila style sauce, topped with like cilantro. It is bomb.
Okay. All right. Well, listen, here's the thing.
How do I remember this? I remember all of it.
Dude, I don't know, man, but I'll tell you this right now. Sometimes you go to a restaurant, you ask, the waiter or waitress, you're like, so, hey, what do you think about this dish? And they go, yeah, it's okay. When they say it's okay, that means don't get it, But when they're like, ooh, that's like the best thing on the menu, you're like, okay, I'll have that.
Everything that we're eating, minus the wings, because they didn't have those when I worked there, I have ordered dozens of times myself.
Okay. So here's the situation. Here it is. It's the supper club. It's the first time we're ever doing this. It's at 7 Mile Casino at Sammy's Restaurant and Bar. And here's what you get. You get the full menu that we just showed you. You get a swag bag that has a 7 Mile Casino t-shirt. But more importantly than that, it has the $25 free play. So when we get done at dinner and you want to go play some cards next door, you're walking in with 25 bucks. You get all the food, soft drinks, et cetera, et cetera. And all of it is for $48. That includes tax and tip. So you tell me, J Law. I was very I was pushy about this with our friends at 7 Mile Casino. I'm like, it has to be under 50 bucks. Now, $48 is only $2 under 50 bucks, but it does include tax and tip. It's got all the food. It's going to have all the fun of everybody being together. And then it's got the swag bag, which has all kinds of cool stuff in it, including a $25 free play coupon. So you can go play cards with 25 bucks in your hand. All of this for $48. What do you think? Do you think this is good?
Well, you got 25. Yeah, that's a great deal. You got 20, it's 20. It's basically, with the 25 free play. That's why partly why you're going is the casino to have fun, the experience, all of that thrown in together, being able to go maybe turn that $25 coupon into something. It's a great deal. Tax tip included. You kidding me? All inclusive.
All right.
That's where I should be sending my parents to spend my inheritance over, instead of places they go. I should be sending them to the Sammys on Supper Club Sammys, Mom. You keep you under 50 bucks.
Now, are you coming with us that night? It's June 2nd. It's Thursday, June 2nd. Are you coming?
Yeah, I mean, I don't, hey, if there's room in the wagon and at the table, absolutely.
Yeah.
I see, look, I'd love to be there.
Yeah,
That was fun. The other day that we had over at the what's the new place called?
Called the Tavern.
It's the Tavern. I'm
yeah,
sorry.
yeah.
The people at the Tavern. First off, I wanted to say thanks to them. That stuff was amazing that they spread out there, and the way they took care of us and all. That was a fun experience because that was kind of like the first time as me being part of the 1090 Browner and Lawhead show. Excuse me. That I got to do something like that. That was fun. Like we've done a couple of events at Tory or whatever, but that was more of like with the listeners and just hanging out. And that
it was fun. Well, that's why we're doing it. That is exactly why.
Yeah,
we're doing
man,
it.
it's great. It's great. I love it.
Everybody said to us this past Christmas when we put our Christmas party together on the Yacht America. Everybody's like, dude, we got to do this more often. We got to start doing more events where we get to hang out together. So we did the lunch bunch. We're doing the supper club. I mean, even the IV lounges are fun ways to just get together and hang out. We got Egg Fest coming up, which I know you're not going to be in town for Egg Fest, but that's going to be a crazy time too. So listen, we're out there. We out here.
And we talked about maybe doing like a festival day where there's some bands and we do the live radio shows live with some stand up in between it, and hopefully maybe we can bring something like that to life. That would be fun because I think what we really find out about everything is, especially post pandemic, no matter whether you have a radio show or whether you have a podcast or whether you're a performer, people want to see live entertainment. They want to feel that again. They want to be out and get a feeling for what the show provides them, but in a live setting. I gotta go see that guy live now. Or
we're talking. We're talking to the Belly Up about possibly doing live shows at the Belly Up.
I love it.
And streaming the shows from there. It's going to be really cool. So we'll get there. Hey, listen, let me keep us rolling here though this afternoon. Jason Lawhead is in for Browner. Me and Grande are in the house. We are in the 7 Mile Casino studios. And remember, it's 7milecasino.com. And if you want to join us for our supper club, all you have to do is email us your reservation, show@kaplanandcrew.com, show@kaplanandcrew.com. Once we're sold out, which there's like 24 spots, and Alex says there's 12 or 14 already reserved. Once we're sold out, you'll receive an email. It'll talk about price. It'll talk about how to pay. It'll talk about bar tabs, and it'll talk about the night. So we're really excited to see everybody. It's June 2nd down at 7 Mile Casino. But Alex, I know yesterday you, me, and Browner had a conversation about Phil Mickelson. And Jay, you'll appreciate this. Alex and Browner have absolutely zero interest in the Phil Mickelson story, whereas I can't get enough of the Phil Mickelson story. And I think the way we described it yesterday was, first of all, neither of these guys are into golf. Neither really play.
I play and am into golf. This is not golf.
Well, I was saying yesterday that the reason I find this Phil Mickelson story so interesting is because to me, Phil Mickelson is a real, tangible human being. You know, I made this whole thing yesterday. I was like, dude, I've been in the Brigantine. There's Phil sitting at the next table. I've been at the Del Mar Country Club. Hey, there's Phil. He's sitting right there having lunch, getting ready to go out and play, or he's hitting on the range. Or, you know, I've been out to these fancy country clubs, the Bridges, and Phil's at the next table. And I know the people that are his table. He knows the people that are this table. And people are drinking wine and we're sharing wine. We're talking. And Phil doesn't know me from a can of paint. So he's not like, man, I better watch what I say around this guy. He don't know me. So I feel like Phil Mickelson is a real person. And I think what we're about to see, Alex says this isn't a golf story. Maybe it's not, but it is a story of a
About a golfer.
monster. It is a story about a golfer, but it's a story of a monster star in American sports that for the longest time has been considered likable and normal and respectable and family oriented. I mean, I can remember Phil playing in a US Open and having, back in the old school days, like a beeper in his golf bag that if his wife went into labor and he got the beep, he was going to leave the course and go be with her when she, you know, was going to go into labor. Phil's mom had breast cancer. We heard about that. His wife had breast cancer. We understood that. Phil's a real dad at school events and so on. To now know that a book is coming out that could potentially destroy Phil Mickelson's career and have people essentially cancel him, which, I mean, right now he's so toxic, he can't even go back to the PGA Championship this week. I find the story to be fascinating. As a matter of fact, today I was reading an article that Jim Nantz was telling a story that he plays in a fantasy football league with Phil Mickelson. This is in the new book that this guy, Alan Shipnuck, is writing or is about to release. And Jim Nantz is telling this story about how utterly, incredibly competitive Mickelson is in fantasy football. So every year at this particular golf tournament, they all get together and they do their fantasy football draft. And then when it's over, they've got the whole football season to kind of talk to each other. And the way Nantz tells the story is, you remember, Alex, you're going to remember this. Remember when Alvin Kamara, the running back from the Saints, broke out onto the scene? Do you remember the performance he had by chance?
No, I blocked that out.
I knew you would because I think did he score 6 touchdowns against the Minnesota Vikings?
Don't know what you're talking about. Never heard that in my life.
So Phil has Kamara, and Kamara scores these 6 touchdowns, and Phil is now, according to Nantz, 99.9% going to win their fantasy football league. And presumably there's probably some decent money involved here. So Mickelson is emailing everybody in the group, including Jim Nantz, just sticking it to him. Kamara scored 6 touchdowns. I'm going to win again. I'm going to take your money. All these things that Mickelson was saying to everybody. And then from out of nowhere, Josh Allen had a monster performance for the Buffalo Bills. And because of that performance, I don't remember who it was, but somebody somehow in the last second beat Mickelson, and Mickelson did not win their fantasy football
by 1 point.
By 1 point. Well, according to Jim Nantz, Mickelson was so upset about losing this fantasy football league, and he's so competitive, and again, presumably there's a decent amount of money on the line, that according to Jim Nantz, Phil Mickelson's performance on the golf course was impacted, that he played like crap the entire West Coast swing, wasn't making cuts, couldn't score. And according to Jim Nantz, he was so angry about losing this fantasy football league that it impacted the way he played golf. I find all these stories to be super interesting. I can't wait to read this book. It'll probably be the first book I've bought in ever.
So along with his gambling addiction, he also has anger management issues.
He's got like kind of distorted reality issues. I would classify that more in a distorted reality issue. I think right now what we're going to see is, and if this book is as damning as everything else that seems to be smoking where there's this fire, and where Phil Mickelson already is with his colleagues and the PGA Tour already with other things that have the outliers of the whole Saudi thing and some other stuff. I mean, he's well on his way to probably being the biggest kind of removed star in sports since Pete Rose, and it's probably going to go that way for him. I don't think this is going to make things better with the PGA Tour. You saw him; he backed out of he's defending PGA champ. He backs out of the PGA Championship when presumably he was signed up, ready to go up until the witching hour. I mean, Tiger's going to play again, even withstanding the injury. And yeah, it is an intriguing story. The stories like this, and how much of it is a little how much of it is truth, how much of it is a little like tell a little more tale about Phil, because Phil's so competitive that the tales get a little tellier every time, because you've got 5 or 6 Phil stories from the past. Well, wait till you hear this fantasy football story, and maybe it's taken to another level, and maybe guys' opinions are a little bit more exaggerated because they think he wasn't playing well because of it. I don't know, but
I mean,
yeah, man,
I
Phil
think the
Mickelson, like
bigger
what
story
everything
though
he's
is the bigger story, I think, is not Jim Nance talking about fantasy football. It's the notion that Mickelson had $40 million in
right,
gambling
of
debt,
course,
you know? I mean,
right.
again, how
But
how true
But
is
how
it?
many more stories like this Nance one are going to be in this book is kind of what I was trying to say. Like, how many more of these, like, oh my gosh. And yeah, you can say the figure 40 million and people just hear numbers now. 40 million just means whatever it means to somebody. But when you start reading the stories and the excerpts, and if there's more of these weird kind of types of things and scenarios where his reality seems to look distorted or seem distorted. And that's where Pete Rose was at the end of the day. Pete Rose was in a denial to Bart Giamatti, going, "What are you talking about?" While he was on bullpen phones running numbers, and he was in a distorted reality of what he was actually doing. And I think that's where Phil's going to go. And I think he's probably, got a long way to try to repair whatever. And I don't know if he's got enough years in his game to get back
No, he was already on
to
the
the good
senior tour.
graces. Yeah, he's 50. I mean,
So
plus. So
the other
I
thing
don't think
that
he's
Phil
got
has
enough
done,
time of forgiveness to come back.
Phil has also laid it up for other golfers to look so much better than him.
Yeah.
So all you have to do is condemn what he said about Saudi Arabia, say you love the PGA Tour, and now you look better than Phil, which is exactly what Tiger did. Tiger's like,
Right.
we think we have a difference of opinion on the tour. I think the tour provides great opportunities for golf players. I think the PGA Tour's blah 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 blah.
Of course.
And now Tiger Woods looks like the fairy, he looks like the good guy again. It's
Well,
just
that
one of those
you
things.
just said it though. You just said it. He looks like the good guy again. When Tiger was going through all of his personal problems, and by the way, America was consumed by it because Tiger was the absolute height. Tiger Woods was on the level of Michael Jordan in terms of fame and the way people perceived him. And by the way, let's be honest, people were afraid of Tiger Woods. And I don't mean people like as in just golfers being intimidated. I'm talking about the media in general would not write anything remotely critical about Tiger Woods because he would shut you out. And he was intimidating, not just on the golf course. His whole brand was intimidating. When Tiger Woods got into all the personal problems and we started to hear about all the salacious details about the hostess at the Perkins and the porn stars, and then the wife chasing him down and smashing the window with the golf club. And Tiger went from untouchable to, oh my God, he's just a real guy with real problems.
But the difference
Phil
between
took
Tiger and
advantage of
Phil
that
though,
time.
but
Yeah.
the difference between Tiger and Phil though is Tiger is golf. So not being in the good side of Tiger could have meant your career was over. If you had like people have built careers of having access to Tiger Woods the same way people have built careers having access to LeBron James. It's not the same for Phil. You could be Phil's best friend. Like that's not like Tiger runs golf. And there's a big difference between getting on Phil's bad side and Tiger's bad side back in the day, I think.
Right, but what happened was when Tiger was having all of his personal problems, Phil was considered the angel of the tour,
Yeah.
and now all these years later, as Phil now is about to experience potential cancel culture, which by the way, I mean the PGA Tour has essentially canceled him on their own, right? I mean, your defending champion who won the PGA championship at 50 years old a year ago was pretty much told not to come back.
Let's not say cancel culture. Like there's there are consequences to your actions. It's that simple.
It's very Pete Rose-esque in a different sport, in a different way, in a different approach. And I obviously golf is an individual sport, but what I mean by that is Pete Rose thought he was bigger than baseball. He just felt that way because he was a king of the sport. And I think that in a lot of ways, golf is saying, especially with the Saudi thing, golf is saying, look how freaking deep these fields are. Look how many great players there are. Look at what you've done and what you've been for the fan base. Sure, but you'll never. Tiger was eventually, as much as you said, and I agree with you, Tiger is golf, whereas Phil's a great golfer and Tiger is more golf. But it would have moved on. Had Tiger been worse than what we thought he was, had he been 10 times worse than the worst that we saw Tiger, and he would have disappeared and gone away and the PGA Tour would have been rid of him, it would have moved on. Like baseball continued to move on and had its greatest days. Shortly thereafter, Pete Rose, the hit king, was banned from it. I mean, that's where it is. And he'll be signing autographs down the road from Augusta National, like John Daly does at a Hooters. We saw that, by the way.
Yeah.
We drove by on our way to the Masters,
Oh
and
God.
Daly was like, all week, John Daly here signing autographs at a Hooters at a bar up the street.
Dude,
Literally,
we've seen him do that here in San Diego. All right, hold on, everybody.
Okay.
We got a lot more we want to get to.
I'm tax attorney Adam Brewer. If you have a serious tax problem with the IRS or state of California, then you don't need a tax relief company, you need a tax attorney. Call or visit my website to schedule your free tax evaluation.
You're watching Kaplan and Crew tonight, powered by the mightier 1090 AM, ESPN Radio, and Your View, featuring the best sports talk in SoCal.
You're listening to the 50,000-watt Powerhouse, bringing you the new generation of radio up and down all of California with a little bit of attitude. This is SoCal Sports Talk, the all-new and mightier 1090 AM ESPN Radio.
I'm tax attorney Adam Brewer. If you have a serious tax problem with the IRS or state of California, then you don't need a tax relief company, you need a tax attorney. Call or visit my website to schedule your free tax evaluation.
Please welcome 4 of the 5 San Diego County Teachers of the Year from the 2021-2022 school year. From Central Elementary School, Laura Reyes. From Westville High School, Tiffany Jokers. From San Jose Elementary School, Jacqueline Jordan. And from St. Joe Chavez Middle School, Zara Sanders. Teachers, please deliver the pitch. San Diego County Teachers of the Year with their honorary pitch.
Watch the Austin Gilronis take on your San Diego Legion, Thursday, May 28th at 5 p.m. on Your View.
I thought I was okay. I had a degree, I had work experience. I should be able to provide for my kids. But they're just things that you don't plan on in life.
My husband got laid off and we are a family of 5.
My mom was diagnosed with stage 4 cancer. I would ask the doctors, what can I do? And they would just say, just make sure she's eating. Our lives just changed completely. Thank God that we always had a plate of food.
San Diego Legion Rugby is back, celebrating its 5th season of professional rugby in San Diego. Fun, excitement, entertainment. Just like all the sports you know, only better. San Diego Legion tickets are on sale now. Get yours today.
I'm tax attorney Adam Brewer. If you have a serious tax problem with the IRS or state of California, then you don't need a tax relief company, you need a tax attorney. Call or visit my website to schedule your free tax evaluation.
Listen to the Mike Greenberg Show, 7 to 9 a.m. Pacific, Monday through Friday. Greeny brings his unmatched depth of sports knowledge, fun, and entertainment back to ESPN on a daily basis. The Mightier 1090 ESPN Radio, SoCal Sports Talk, and the Mightier1090.com.
Here's Kaplan and Crew tonight's 60-second timeout with Haley Stasiak.
Let's go ahead and take a look at your San Diego Legion updates. The Legion got a big win against the LA Guillotines on Sunday, 31-27, to secure the Cali Cup and keep their postseason hopes alive. The win earned them Major League Rugby Team of the Week. Joe Peterson was named man of the match for his 19 points scored in the first half. Peterson finished the game with 21 points on 68 meters run with 8 ball carries. Ben Mitchell was also a standout for the Legion in the win, with 12 tackles and 55 meters run on 7 ball carries. San Diego currently sits at 4th in the Western Conference. There are 2 weeks left in the regular season. This weekend, San Diego will take on NOLA Gold at the Gold Mine in New Orleans. That's your 60-second timeout. Now back to more Kaplan and Crew tonight.
Kaplan and Crew tonight's 60-second timeout is presented by Your View. You're watching Kaplan and Crew tonight, powered by the Mightier 1090 AM, ESPN Radio, and Your View, featuring the best sports talk in SoCal.
What's going on to all the great friends that watch the show on television here on Cox Your View? What you're about to see will never be heard on radio, won't be seen on YouTube, no audio podcast. This is just for you here on Cox Your View. All right, great friends. This is so exciting for me to kind of jump in the middle of the show and talk about something that is purely exclusive here on Cox Your View. And my friend Dan Engel is about to join me, who many years ago walked into our radio studio and told us about this concept called the Miracle League of San Diego. And it's about to celebrate its 15th year. So let me jump right in. Dan Engel is here. Hey, Dan, first of all, it's great to see you. Congratulations on 15 years. Can you explain to people who have never heard of the Miracle League of San Diego what it is, what you guys do?
Yeah, thanks, Scott. And I remember that morning 15 years ago really well. So the Miracle League is a baseball league that provides children and adults with disabilities opportunity to play baseball in an organized league. Every player has a buddy who helps them on and off the field and provides encouragement. We've been doing it 15 years. When we started 15 years ago, Scott, we had 80 players. We now have 300 players at 2 fields. We play at Engel Family Field in San Diego Park, up in off Loma Santa Fe Drive, and we play at Bell Middle School down in Chula Vista. 2 seasons, spring and fall seasons, and it's the happiest place in San Diego.
Oh man, listen, I know it well. I will tell everybody, this is deeply personal for me because I find myself at these fields, well, the one up in San Diego, on the weekends because my daughters, 2 of them, my 18-year-old and my 15-year-old are both buddies. And my 15-year-old in particular, she has this one kid that she buddies for literally every week. His name is Jeremiah. And she gets so excited, Dan, to go on a Saturday and be there to be with this kid who she has grown to love so much. Tell everybody about the buddy program, how I will call able-bodied, healthy children can go help these kids who are not as fortunate, but who desperately want to play baseball.
Yeah, that's exactly it, Scott. And I like to call it, we're nurturing philanthropic souls. We're teaching kids at a young age how good it feels to give back and help others. So your daughters have been doing it, I know, for many years. And my daughter did it for 8.5 years until she went off to college. I have so many kids who've now gone on to careers in the special needs world because of their experience at Miracle League. So, we start at 10 years old as buddies and go on. I have one player in the South Bay. She's been a buddy for her brother for all of 15 years. And
Wow.
the experience to see how people like your daughter have learned to grow to love these other kids and develop confidence and skills beyond what they get just in normal school and other outside activities. I
Yeah.
think it's so important. And for the parents, as you know, it gives the parents opportunity for an hour to just watch their child or adult on the field having a good time, knowing that they're taken care of by their buddy who knows everything that their child needs. And they can just relax and smile just like any other, parent of a kid playing sports.
Well, let me jump right in here then, Dan, because I want everybody to visit the website miracleleagueofsandiego.org, miracleleagueofsandiego.org. Tell us about the big event that you've got coming up to celebrate the 15 years. It's a partnership with the Padres. There's an
Yep.
exhibition game. There's a celebrity home run derby. I really want you to tell everybody about this because people love star power, and you guys have done such a great job of integrating with the Padres. Tell us about what's going on. Give us the details.
Yeah, details great. It's Sunday, May 22nd at Engel Family Field in San Diego Park. Gates are going to open at 11. At noon, we're going to have an exhibition game where we have one player from every team in the league, and we're splitting them up into Team Randy Jones and Team Mark Loretta, who have both been part of Miracle League really for all of our 15 years. And their buddies are all going to be celebrities. So we've lined up 10 Padre alum plus other athletes and media. So we have Rick Aguilera, Russell Allen, who played for the Jags. Drew Brees is coming out to be a buddy. Stephen Cooper, linebacker for the Chargers.
Sure.
Kevin Correa, Steve Finley, Tyler Gaffney, who was one of our first buddies in the Miracle League. Troy Gloss, there's a home run hitter if I've ever seen one.
Right.
Nick Hundley, Randy Jones, Mark Loretta, Corey Lupke, Melissa McIlvain, great USD softball coach. Jane Mitchell, wonderful journalist. Ex-Navy, Charlie Nagy, Carlos Quinton, and Tim Stoffer.
Wow, you got an all-star lineup there.
I'm going to count you in for Back and Mark, who's been on our board, is a great friend of all of ours. Our partnership with the Padres, with you, Scott. I mean, we go back a long ways, and I'm so grateful for everything you've done to support Miracle League, and I'm grateful that your daughters love being buddies. That's what makes me happy.
They really do. Dan, we'll talk to you real soon. We'll see you out there on Sunday, May 22nd. We'll see you there.
Thanks so much, Scott. Thanks for having me on.
All right.
We are very proud to announce that the Mightier 1090 is SoCal's newest ESPN affiliate. Introducing the Mightier 1090 ESPN Radio. One of the largest radio stations in North America just got bigger and better. Joining forces with the worldwide leader of sports, ESPN. The Mightier 1090 ESPN Radio.
I'm tax attorney Adam Brewer. If you have a serious tax problem with the IRS or state of California, then you don't need a tax relief company, you need a tax attorney. Call or visit my website to schedule your free tax evaluation.
What keeps me coming back is just learning more about myself in the classroom, and as I learn more about myself, I can share more about myself with my students, and I can open up more and care more and love more and teach more by example.
Teaching is just one of those things that if you have a heart for it, you've found your place, and I have found my place. I get to help little people realize what it means to learn something for the first time, and that's something like reading that will be with them for the rest of their lives.
Still a little bit overwhelmed, maybe a little bit surprised. You don't go into teaching for awards. You go into teaching because you sincerely believe you can make a difference in young people's lives, and that's kind of what got me into the field in the first place.
If you love animals, Animal Zone is for you. From rescues to animal experts, Animal Zone is fun for the whole family. Watch Animal Zone right here on your view, Saturdays at 8:30 a.m. and visit animalzone.org to learn more about the show.
Thank you for joining us. Catch Scott Kaplan and crew tonight from 7 to 8 p.m. Pacific every Monday through Friday. The very best from today's Scott Kaplan and crew show on the mightier 1090 AM ESPN Radio, SoCal Sports Talk.
My name is Charles.